Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, and it says I'm live, but I'm not getting the preview just yet. So I'm just going to trust it that what it's saying. Seem to have a cut in my lip. Awesome. Awesome. I bet that was my fucking sharp teeth. Hey, Panda folks. So I'm really hungry. So basically, I'm in a bit of a weird mood. So if I'm a bit snappy, forgive me. Oh. I haven't eaten since breakfast. Basically, my food is cooking, but it's going to take a little bit longer, apparently. But thankfully, Damon's home, so he's going to sort that out for me. Also, I had a sneezy thing happen earlier, which is also not helping. Okay. Oh, this thing didn't auto crop at all. When I scanned it in, it didn't auto crop. It's so helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to crop it myself. It's all not in the right. It's misaligned as well. Again, all things that I could have learned about a minute ago. But no. Anyway, how are you, Panda folks? Did you make it okay? Did you make it back okay? Why did I just tried to turn up the color intensity, and it's like it's not in color. That was pointless. You know, whatever. I'm keeping it. You made it back fine. Awesome, dude. Great news. It is good news. Honest. Okay. Yeah, it looks okay. Okay. It's just me and you tonight, it seems. I know I'm out of center. I'm off center, but there's nothing I can do about that. Maybe I can just suspend the camera. No, it's sliding. Oh no, you're thinking. Is that okay? Does that work? It's messing with my head, to be honest. Oh no, I'm sliding. Damn it. Well, that's a bit better. That's a lot better, in fact. Ideally, I want that moon in. I think it's my actual laptop has shifted position. Oh, that's a bit better. Okay. What am I doing? I like that nobody commented on the morphs that I put into the art stuff section, just because, yeah, they're a bit shitty. but it's fine. Oh, I lost the pictures for a second then. Okay. That one. Wow. You hear that? Hi, Jeff. Hi, Sabin. Okay. So it's uploading to Discord now. I'm also putting it on. And I've also got to. Where else am I putting it? Who am I sending it to? Oh. Oh my God! Everything's happening at once. My computer's trying to. My computer's trying to. The antivirus software. My computer's trying to be a shit. And it failed to upload one of the pictures, and there it is. So yeah. So I just got an email saying that another one of my videos has been flagged. Woo! That's always happening. There's nothing new. Should I send Jeffrey? Should I send you the pictures that these pictures are in reference to? That they're the. I'll do that as well. I might as well. I don't know if I did that or not yet. Oh, no, I did do one. So yeah, Jeffrey, I sent you the original. When I sent you the last one, I sent you the remake, and well, the revisit, and the original that I did for Panafox. And now I'm sending you the entire of the old series plus the next picture in the new series. So shut up, you're getting through soon. Have some soda. There we go. So yeah, you're going to get the all of the old series, and also the two pictures of the remake. You've already got one of the pictures of the remake of the revisit, but this is the next one that I did with the funnel and the beans. Beans and funnels. So yeah. So that means that I won't have to keep uploading the old pictures to you because you want to have both. So yeah. Anyway, guys, yeah, tell me how you've been. What's up? What's going on? I'm not going to be here for long. I'm literally going to be in here for as long as this stays lit, and I don't think it's going to stay lit for that long. But yeah. But yeah. What do you think, Pan Fox? You don't have to tell me. You can just tell me on there. Also, hello, Sabin. Yeah. So, some critique. I know, right? It's not shutting up, is it? Well, as long as you've been getting there, dude. So some critique. I basically drew him naked. I think that's a problem. I accidentally drew him naked, and then I drew him with the suit on, and I think you could tell that happened because, well, you could see some lines. Yeah. So he's wearing the boiler suit, and yeah, I want to imply that it's got some stretchiness to it, and that's good. I think I got the ball's proportions right as well. You could see a lot more of him, but of course, Pop is in the way now. So yeah, because Pop's big. You can see it. It's in art stuff. I posted it in art stuff, so you can see it if you want to. It's right there. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about the picture. I wish that I put something in the background because there's a lot of background now. But yeah. Yeah, I also put that he basically isn't just like slurping them out of the funnel. Like the funnel's been inserted like quite far into his mouth, so he's just pouring the beans in. It's bad. What is the next picture that I'm doing? Okay. The next picture is basically them side by side with Pop standing up. I don't know if I'm going to do him standing up or sitting down. I don't know yet. Was it the one that I asked? What are you talking about? We're doing Kingston's. We're doing Panafox's commission because apparently he's going to pay me. Again, not right away. You don't have to. It's fine. For a revisit of an old picture that I did for him, apparently 2 years ago. I think it was like 1.5 years ago. I don't think it was 2 years ago, according to my computer. That might have just been when I transferred it over to the hard drive. I don't know exactly. But yeah, it's coming along fine. I know what I'm doing for the last picture. I've got an idea of what I'm doing for the last picture. But for this picture, I basically, instead of in the original series of pictures, I've got Kingston being very assertive, but he's kind of cautious as well because he didn't know how big Pop would get, or if he was going to be in trouble, basically. But you know, so in the last two pictures, we've got him kind of like surprised and a little bit scared. But I think that I'm going to go with the other route. I've got him in these other two pictures, instead of him being like surprised and stuff, I've got him being more eager to see the results, as it were. And I've been trying to imply that anyway. I've got him with his tongue sticking out of the side of his mouth in this picture. So yeah. But anyhow, I remember the one with me when I was 13, where it was a German Shepherd. Yeah, but I didn't make you. I mean, didn't make the German Shepherd version of you 13. I increased your age slightly. So the German Shepherd version of you isn't 18. Isn't 13. It's more like 18. He's more adult. So yeah. Only because I basically don't like drawing children. You know, like I don't like. I'm not going to include children in any of my furry artwork or any of my not furry artwork for obvious reasons. So yeah. But yeah, so the next picture is going to be interesting to do. I've got 2 more pictures to do in this series, and like I said, the next picture is going to be interesting to do because it's very much, there's a lot more detail that I have to put into it. But no, it's looking good so far, I think. The boiler suit, by the way, is based off of my boiler suit. Only my boiler suit isn't stretchy. It is slightly stretchy around the middle, but that's it. His boiler suit is slightly, it's got a bit more give to it. Shut up. It's got a bit more give to it for obvious reasons. But yeah. I'm arguing that basically, like, it's a boiler suit that was given to him by Boulder, because basically Boulder has Boulder uses them as pajamas on account of he occasionally, he's got the problem of he swells up, he swells up like a balloon. When he's asleep and stuff, because he just amasses like mana, and that kind of causes problems. So of course, when he's asleep, especially in wintertime, because he does hibernate, he's very much a bear. He does hibernate. He basically stays awake for Christmas, and then basically that's it. You don't see him for like 2 months. He basically is asleep, and he can't use any spells. He can't use up the mana. So essentially, he is very spherical when he wakes up from his hibernation. So yeah, but yeah, Boulder's very much a bear. So I kind of like, in my head canon, I've given Boulder gave Pop a set of these boiler suits, so that basically Pop wasn't going to be naked all the time, and it will help him and expand if he needs to, or if he wants to eat a bunch of stuff. So yeah. So yeah, that's the backstory. Basically, Boulder gave him that, and now he's gone off to Boulder is hibernating. So yeah. I imagine that basically, a certain honey badger and a certain chihuahua basically have the keys to the cave, so that basically they can look after Boulder's home while he's asleep and stuff. So I imagine that they're basically snuggling the sleeping bear, the sleeping giant furball. I do have like a bit of backstory to Boulder and everything. Is that basically he's he gathers energy from like the joy and stuff. Basically, whenever he experiences happy thoughts, or basically people with happy thoughts, then that gets converted into energy, and that he can use for spells. But of course, where he stores the energy is in his belly, so he basically like kind of puffs up a bit. So maybe it wasn't a good idea to give Marco and the Chihuahua Bastion the keys. Because when he goes to sleep, oh, headache. When he goes to sleep, he basically can't use any spells or anything. So you can't use the mana up. So of course he gets puffy. So if somebody is there and is snuggling with him and is deriving pleasure from snuggling him while he's asleep, then he'll get puffier. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the actual limit is on Boldar. He hasn't really tested his stretchy limits. When do I get to hug him? Well, just ask Marco for the keys, I guess. He's not opposed to being snuggled and stuff when he's hibernating, but yeah, just don't wake him up. He has got a failsafe. Basically, if he gets too pressurized, if you pump mana into him, for example, and he doesn't use spells or anything, then what happens is basically the gem in his belly button kind of pops off, and it all expels like a kettle. It kind of makes this mist everywhere, and it basically the mist kind of can. I'm imagining that the mist basically has very much rejuvenative properties. It basically like makes grass grow and springtime stuff happen. Yeah. He's an earth mage. It happens. I guess. Well, that's what I imagine anyway. Normally, if he gets too big, he just casts a spell, a particularly big one, and basically it sells him back to normal. I have weird backstories. So when I create a character, I create a character. I can't help it. Okay. You know, for example, Pop doesn't really have much backstory to him. He really is just a pig. You know, he likes having a good time, basically. And by having a good time, I mean like he just likes eating and drinking and just chilling. So yeah. Like five is very much the five is very much like a horn dog, but most of the time he basically enjoys what Pop enjoys. But he's also very clever, and he likes he likes running his business and stuff. So yeah. You really well plan out what happens, and it's amazing. It's not that amazing. It's just I've been in the furry community too long. But yeah, Jeffers, I imagine that Brugger is very much welcome as well to hang out in Boldar's cave. He lives in a cave in a forest. It's very much like a Hobbit entrance, though. It's very strange. The backstory for Five is very deep. It goes very, very deep. There's a lot of backstory to Five, but that's only because he's been around for the longest. And yeah. Plus, I've got a new character design for my character. I have new ideas for my character than I have drawn. Well, have you posted a picture of the character you've drawn? Because I would like to hear about it. You can post a picture and then like write a little story about what happened, what is their backstory and stuff. I can basically imagine that. Basically, I can imagine like Boulder kind of like sleepily with doing the bear sleep with his butt in the air kind of thing, under some covers, or basically just in one of his pajamas, and like and Brugger just kind of like sipping on some coffee and with his corncob pipe just in the armchair in his bedroom, just watching him sleep, occasionally giving him a pat. reading a book. Probably why Marco is trying to get underneath, trying to squeeze himself underneath the bear. I'm going to say it sounds relaxing. It's a very storybook kind of thing. And if somebody paid me, I would draw that because it sounds adorable. So I'm just trying to justify myself drawing that. Well, I'm looking at the art stuff section, and I'm not seeing anything yet. I'll have to do a lot of background though. That's the problem. You know, what kind of chair is Brugger sitting on, and what the perspective is. You know, what kind of bed does he have? I want to say that he basically doesn't really have a bed. It's just a shelf. You know, like it's an earth shelf with maybe a mattress on it. Maybe, I don't know. Because it is a cave. I remember it's still a cave, but it's like it's home. It's kind of like a hobbit hole, but hobbit house, but basically more earthy, you know. I don't know where Pop lives. I never really designed their like sleeping quarters, you know. Basically, 5 lives in the Hyperion, the hotel above the lounge. But Pop, I kind of just made his place kind of like a just apartment somewhere. I don't know. I kind of imagine that basically Pop lives in like an apartment block that's shaped very much like a huge kind of like a huge like semicircular building with apartment blocks. It's called Pig Paradise or something, and a bunch of pigs live there. And basically, he lives on one of them, and they've got like shops at the bottom with with like you know, pig food and a pig tailors and stuff like that. You know, I can just imagine basically that. A bunch of piggies live there. So yeah. I don't imagine that basically he'd be able to get back into his old place. That's the problem. So from the outset of him basically being this size, he is now stuck because he can't go back home. He can't go back to his apartment building because he's too big of a pig now, and he can't really Yeah, he couldn't really go anywhere. So he's basically been crashing in. He's been crashing in the basement of the Fat Hound, I think. I don't know. I don't know where he is. I don't know where he would live now. Maybe the landlord of the. I don't think he is the landlord. Like I said, that's too much work. That's too much responsibility for him. I think. He's got a bunch of part-time jobs working security, which he hasn't been to since before Christmas, since he got in this predicament. And I think he basically is still working security for 5 now, but he kind of is stuck. He doesn't do security that well, but 5's looking after him. I can imagine 5 basically being very, very sweet to Pop and just looking after him. Basically like making him full-time security and giving him like some extra money maybe to just to stay with the landlord, which does live at the bottom of this pig paradise place, I'm imagining. Like the landlord actually has a ground level apartment, and basically he can get into that maybe. I don't know. There's no real garden space in the Fat Hound. There isn't a garden. There's an alleyway behind the Fat Hound, but they kind of use that as the terrace. The terrace, which has now got hot tubs in it and stuff. That's the outside terrace place. So I don't know is the real answer to that. I don't know where he will live. He can't get upstairs. He can't do stairs. Is the thing. And I've kind of justified him getting to places by him basically having kind of like this. It's already it's like it's just a piece of wood with a bunch of wheels on it, like 4 wheels on it in either corner, and basically he gets around by like putting his belly somehow, hoisting it up and landing it on this thing, so that he can actually walk around still, because he's still mobile. He's just it's stairs. The problem with the Fat Hound is that basically they don't have stairs. They've got a ramp thing that they basically wheel out if anybody needs access to anybody that's disabled wants to get into the Fat Hound. They basically got this ramp thing. They've got like like they have on trains. But I don't think. I mean, he can get in that way. God, the logistics of this is just really annoying. He can't actually go. He can't lose the weight by basically asking Boulder, because Boulder's asleep. So yeah, but until he basically wakes up, Pop is stuck like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this way too much. He gets around just because he gets around. There you go. But wouldn't it be a problem if he stepped on something sharp? He's not full of air. He's not a balloon. Well, he's full of fat. He's just very, very fat. You know, like if you poked me in the stomach with like a nail, then I'll just bleed. You know, I wouldn't explode or anything. He is very fat. Hmm. So yeah, it's like I said, I think I might be overthinking this. Just a tad. D. Pop's partner, not Pop's partner, Five's partner, D. He's a big beaver who lives with Five. He's Five's partner, so basically he lives with Five. That's Damon. It's Damon's persona. I haven't really come up with a backstory for Damon's persona because I don't think Damon has one. He just is the beaver. Sorry, my nose decided to leak to the back of my throat when I had my pipe just there. Sorry about that. Yeah, I breathed. I pulled on my pipe at the same time that my nose decided to, because I'm still got a cold-ish thing, and my nose decided to dump a bunch of crap into my throat at the same time, and it was just like, yeah, great. Joe, I appreciate you basically saying this stuff, but you don't have to go just after saying that. You could stick around for a bit, talk to us. We don't mind. Yeah, I can't imagine what Damon's backstory is. You know, what would his dream be if he lived in the furry verse? But I think he might just be a retired beaver who just like hangs out somewhere. I don't know. Well, thanks, Joe. Again, I do appreciate it, but like at least I know why now, so that's something. I'm sorry I'm always on when you're working. But yeah, like like he likes electrical stuff, so I imagine that he'd run in like he might run a store. I don't know. I'm still intrigued by what you said about Tubbs being about being sexy, but yeah. Well, it's a bit. You know how I feel about talking to you particularly, Saban, about that stuff. So yeah. Yeah. So like I said, I think he'd run like a. I don't know. He might run just. He might not want to run it. He might want to do something else. He might just be retired. I don't know. But to think up a story. But yeah. Well, I'm going to go and eat dinner because my tummy will not shut up now, which is great. Plus, I'm getting a bit of a headache from. I get hungry headaches. Ugh. Need food. Yeah. But if anybody does want to like potentially pay me to draw the idea with Boulder's hibernation and stuff, then it's out there. It's an idea. I'm willing to do that. I'm just trying to think of a way to justify me drawing it myself, but I might just end up drawing it myself. I don't know. Yeah, it depends what else I have to do after I've drawn Panda Fox's picture, like all of the pictures, the entire series. But yeah, if people could keep reminding me about the picture, about that particular scene, then basically that'd be great, because then I'll do it. Otherwise, it's going to be like all the other ideas that I end up having to draw, and then basically just I don't draw them because I forget. You know, I have other things to draw, then I forget, and that's just sad. But yeah, if anybody that's watching this, even on playback or anything, and you want me to draw that, or just want to be helpful, then write down what I said, and then basically like send it to me as a suggestion or something. I do it myself, but like I said, I'm hungry, so I'm going to go get my food. But no, it's been cool talking to you guys. Empty belly rubs. I'm also going to have a shower. Still haven't had to fucking shower because Damon hasn't been in. And belly salute. Again, I'll see you guys. I'll probably be back on tonight. I'm still not well enough to film anything, but I'm well enough to do the next picture. So that's something. Anyway, guys, have a good evening, morning, night, wherever you are in the world. Button press. Bye.